Everybody, welcome to Guitar Player Gear Demos. My name is David Vignola, and this week we have another product I want to show you that's really going to help you be able to hear yourself better when you're playing in a live situation with a band, you're playing guitar with other groups of musicians in the room. And we have a product here that's going to show you how to hear yourself better. So you say, well, what do you mean exactly? So here's the kind of the problem, right? You're in a band, you're playing with other musicians. You either have a 1x12 or a 2x12 like I have here behind this this cabinet, or even a 4x12 cabinet. You're standing with the cabinet, 3 to 4 feet, maybe 6 feet behind you. You have your back to your speaker cabinet. You're playing guitar and you're having a difficult time hearing yourself, right? You're constantly having to lean back, have to try to hear yourself. You then have to crank up the volume of your amplifier, which then means the bass player's got to crank up the volume of his or her amplifier, which means then the vocals got to crank up the PA system. And before you know it, you're all screaming super loud because you're having such a difficult time hearing yourself when you're playing live on stage or in a rehearsal space or what have you. So how do you solve that problem when you have a cabinet that's behind you or to the side of you and you have a difficult time hearing yourself? Well, one thing you can do, like I did here with this 112 Friedman cabinet, is you can prop it up on a table or prop it up on an amp stand to kind of get the sound up more towards your ears and not firing at the back of your legs. But the problem with that is when you take a speaker cabinet and you take it off the ground and get it in the air, you end up losing a lot of the bottom end because you want the speaker cabinet to be on the floor to get that more low end. As soon as you lift it up, everything gets really thin. It doesn't have that nice punch, that nice low end beef anymore. And when you tilt a speaker back towards the back of your ear, or if you're standing in front of a speaker and you point it towards your face, you may know that listening to that speaker hitting you right in the face, it sounds horrible, right? Another example of this is if you go out to watch another band or another guitar player playing live in a bar or club, and you're standing close to the stage and you're standing in front of the guitar player's amp, and the amp is like firing right into your face. Sounds horrible, right? Sounds very shrilly, not a very pleasing to the ear, and it usually is very ear piercing, right? So how do you kind of solve these problems where you're not firing the sound right from the center of the speaker towards your audience or towards your own face, but you want to be able to get the sound up in the air so you can actually hear yourself, and you're not standing, if you're not standing in the absolute sweet spot of where your speaker cabinet is located, you have a real difficult time hearing yourself. So how do we solve that problem? Well, I found a video online by a good friend of mine. He's another YouTuber called Henning Pauly, and I'm going to leave the website address beneath this video in the description box. He did an awesome demonstration of the product that I'm about to show you, and I want you to go out to his YouTube channel and check it out. And so the product that I'm talking about here is this product here, and this looks like it's a clear piece of plastic. Actually, it's fiberglass. It's made out of the same material that they make airplane windows out of. It's called the Deeflexx, and this is a product that is made by a company in Germany. You can only buy it in Germany at this time as far as I know. And what this is designed to do is this is designed to sit in front of your speaker cabinet like so. So I'm going to show you here on this 112 Friedman, where you just kind of slip it underneath the cabinet, and the bottom of the cabinet kind of suspends it in air, as you can see here, and it puts this piece of plastic on this angle in front of the speaker cone. So what ends up happening is that when you're playing and the sound that's coming out of the speaker, you're not hitting your audience directly head on with the center of that speaker, which sounds terrible, and it's getting the sound to be dispersed and up in the air to where you can actually hear it regardless of where you're standing as the guitar player in relation to the cabinet. Now you might be saying, well, gee, that's kind of a quick and easy solution. It's just a piece of plastic in front of the speaker. And that's true. It's designed in a way to diffuse the sound, to get the sound up. So regardless of where you're standing, it's always going to sound good. It's going to hit you in the ear, and it's going to be better than having the speaker cabinet up on a table or on a stand, because now it could be on the floor where you can still get that nice low end, that nice bass response you want to get from your cabinet. So this is called the Deeflexx. Now, a couple of things about the Deeflexx. There's not too many videos online, but again, I urge you to go out and check out Henning's video on this. He did an amazing job on demonstrating this so you can actually hear the difference, because one of the difficult things about doing a video like this is just a piece of plastic, and I'm telling you, put it in front of the speaker, and all of a sudden the sound is going to sound better, and you're going to be able to hear yourself, and your audience isn't going to be hit right in the face with the center of that speaker. It's going to be a more pleasing experience for both you as the musician and your audience listening to this guitar cabinet. But how do you demonstrate that so you can audibly hear this over YouTube? It's very difficult to do. And I had a couple of different ideas on how I can show you, but my buddy Henning actually did probably the best video I've ever seen done on it, and that's why I'm going to ask you to go watch his video, where he actually has himself wearing, as strange as this sounds, wearing kind of an airplane, air pilot's helmet with two microphones taped to the side where your ears would be, and he would actually walk around the room with the Deeflexx in front of the speaker cabinet and then pulling the Deeflexx away from the speaker cabinet so you can audibly hear what this piece of plastic, sophisticated piece of plastic, and what how this actually works, and can you audibly hear the difference. And I can tell you there is an absolute difference. So this is the Deeflexx. Now, let's get to the part of the video where we talk about, well, where do you buy this and how much does it cost? Because I will tell you that one of the main complaints that you hear about people that know about the Deeflexx is the price. This at the time, and this is called the Edition, this is the Deeflexx Edition, and at the time when I purchased this, they only made this one model. This is their top of the line flagship model, if you will. They also have two more affordable versions of the Deeflexx that are constructed slightly different but give a lot of the same benefits. This edition, the flagship version, is $350 US. Now before you turn off the video and you run away and go, who in the hell would pay $350 for a piece of plastic? And that's what I thought when I first heard about it. And I got to tell you, I said, I'm going to try it. I was in a splurge buying mood, and I actually went ahead and dropped $350 on this thing, and I wanted to try it for myself to see, is it as good as that it appears to be in the video of Henning's video that I asked you to go watch. And I will say, the very first thing I noticed when I put this thing under my speaker cabinet, or in front of my speaker cabinet, and was rehearsing with my band was, instantly I was able to lower the volume of my guitar amplifier, which made the bass player lower his amplifier, the vocalist, we lowered the PA, and now we were just playing to the sound of the drums, and we weren't all, everyone wasn't competing for volume in the room, because I was able to hear myself. I'm playing, rehearsing in a small little 15 by 20 room. We're all kind of in a semicircle positioned around the room, and I'm only standing maybe 2 or 3 feet away from my speaker cabinet, and I always had a very difficult time. I was always constantly leaning over trying to hear. As soon as I put the Deeflexx in front, all of a sudden now I heard all the mids and the upper frequencies were coming up towards my head, so I can actually hear it. It wasn't ear piercing. It was very pleasant to listen to. It didn't have that real screechy feel. And what was really even more amazing, which I really found hard to believe until I tried it myself, was anywhere that I would walk in the rehearsal room in relation to the speaker cabinet, the sound sounded the same. In other words, when I was stepped, maybe 3 feet to the side of the speaker cabinet, it would sound one way, and if you walked in front, it would sound something totally different. But with the Deeflexx, regardless of where you were standing in the room, I was able to hear myself just fine. There was no more cranking up the volume to try to hear myself. The other thing I noticed right away, and my bandmates had commented how much more clearly and how more easily they can actually hear my cabinet. And again, the volume was brought down much lower. So I thought, wow, this thing is great. I mean, it's $350. It's a lot of money, don't get me wrong. This is not for everybody. And I know that the company, from what I've read, it's gotten a lot of flack about, wow, $350 for literally a piece of plastic. It's a sophisticated piece of plastic. Like I said, it's very durable. It's not going to crack. It's not like a piece of plexiglass you're going to buy in Home Depot. It's not brittle. Again, it's made out of the same material as they make airline windows. So it is durable. It will last forever, but it is really expensive. Well, since I bought this, they actually make two more affordable versions of this. I believe one is called the Core line and one called I think it's the Aura line. I'm going to put the website on the bottom of the screen here so you can go out and check out the Deeflexx and you can see the different models that they have, and you can read the product descriptions on what differentiates between the Edition and the lower models. Again, I believe my buddy Henning has done a video on the more affordable models as well, and I'll also leave that link in the description. So there's no sound examples in this video today. I just wanted to kind of introduce you to a product that I found extremely expensive, yes, but extremely, extremely helpful. And honestly, I didn't know that it was going to work when I first had that impulse buy, but when I got it in my studio and I started using it, I was amazed how much more easily I can hear myself, as I said. And honestly, I won't play without this thing again. If you have a 112 cabinet, you can stick it right in front of the cabinet. Now, if you have a 212 cabinet, in theory, you'd want one in front of each cabinet. But in my rehearsal room, I play with a 212, not this 112, and I only use one Deeflexx. And I just put it in front of one of the speakers so I can hear myself. The other one doesn't have one in front of it. If you were using a 412, again, you would be able to put a couple of these for the bottom two speakers, but the top two are already kind of angled up, so you may not have as much of an issue. But this is great if you're using like a 112 or a 212. And again, I didn't believe it till I tried it. And again, this may not be for everybody, but if you go out to the Deeflexx website and check out their more affordable models, if you can't spend $350, I think you could pick one up for about $100, I think is their most affordable version. Worth every single penny. You know, we spend a lot of time and money as guitar players on getting, really, expensive guitars, really expensive amplifiers, really expensive speaker cabinets, expensive pedals, expensive pedal boards, so on and so forth. And we get all this stuff together, and then a lot of times, again, if you're playing with a bunch of musicians and you're playing in a band, you can't always hear yourself in an optimum way. And this simple concept, eliminates that problem. So if you think about it that way, and you look at your entire guitar rig, and you look at the price of your entire rig, you've probably spent, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on your amplifier, guitars, all your pedals, your cables, so on and so forth. When you think about it that way, this is not as much of a sticker shock investment as you may think when I first told you it was $350. So again, this is the Deeflexx. Check out the link in the description. Go check out Henning's video. Like I said earlier, he's done 2 really great videos on demonstrating how this thing works. And once you see those videos, I think you'll be a little bit more apt to try it. And again, I was a little skeptical even after watching his video, but I went out and took the plunge, and I'll tell you what, I'm glad I did. I won't play live again without this thing. I take this thing into clubs, little bars, put this out in front of the amp. All the other musicians kind of look at you like, what the hell is that? And the sound man kind of looks at me like, what's that? But as soon as they hear the speaker cabinet, once I plug in and start playing and they realize what this thing is doing, people are just like, wow. I mean, the bass player in my band, his jaw hit the floor, goes, I can't believe this thing actually works. He thought it was a gimmick. People think it's a gimmick. It looks kind of gimmicky. But I got to tell you that it works, and if I tell you that it works, as my faithful subscriber, I'm not here telling you, to buy something or telling you something is better than it is. Again, Deeflexx doesn't know anything about me, and they're not here paying me to do this kind of product endorsement. I just wanted to share with you something that you don't see a lot of, something that not many people have heard about, but absolutely solves a really common problem with being able to hear yourself clearly without having to blast yourself with volume. And again, more importantly, when you're using this live, you're not blasting your audience right in the face with the center of that speaker, which sounds horrible. This solves that problem as well. So that is the Deeflexx. Go out, check out the links below in the description box underneath this video. Do some research on it. If you have any questions, you can certainly leave me a comment and I'll try to explain a little further. But I love the Deeflexx, and I urge you to at least go research it and check it out. So I hope this video was helpful. Join me next time on Guitar Player Gear Demos, and we'll be taking a look at other products and other cool things to help you as the guitar player, so we can all get better and get, always chasing and looking for that ultimate guitar rig, ultimate guitar tone. That's what I'm here to try to help you do, make informed decisions before you run out and spend your hard-earned money. My name has been David Vignola. Thank you once again for subscribing. Share this video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.